one of my first times camping, setting up and carrying gear.
Way too much gear.
Way too much gear, but we start somewhere.
So we have, you can't see it in the camera, but there's a tree that's been creaking. You probably heard it, and it's about ready to fall right onto Jason. So if he dies during this, what an exciting video this will be.
Oh, trust me.
Now that the fires are pretty much under control, Jason showed up and mentioned Ajahn Sona the other day. We had a really nice conversation about all of his winter hiking and survival skills he learned. And
Ajahn Sona's winter hiking, not my winter hiking.
okay, yeah, it's true. So we were hearing stories of Ajahn Sona's, and Jason asked the question, is it possible to go camping here? Or he said something like that.
Yeah, I mentioned it.
Yeah. So I grabbed him and said, let's go. So here we are.
Yeah, it's wonderful to be here with you, Ajahn.
Yeah.
This is a lovely forest. Lots of, I'm not sure if the camera can see, but there's these huge boulders scattered around like it was a rock slide, and big trees all over the place.
Yeah. So we just did a 15-minute meditation, and we went for a walk last week, just a short walk, a couple hours, just around the monastery. And at the end, during the middle of it, we stopped and had some tea and just were talking. And Jason asked me a lot of questions about Metta meditation, a meditation called, I like the translation goodwill. It's often translated as loving kindness. And how did it work? Kind of what we talked about. Did you experiment with it?
Yeah. I find it helps before having a conversation with someone. So using it preemptively when you anticipate like a stressful situation, you can like prepare yourself ahead of time by thinking thoughts of goodwill, like you say, about the person you're going to talk to.
Well, it's interesting what you say about using it before you have an interaction with somebody. Ajahn Sona's, two things that remind me of that was, he said, oftentimes when you're doing a meditation or if you're in a retreat and people say like, oh, I got so calm and peaceful, during the meditation or the retreat, how can I maintain this? And Ajahn response was, I can't tell you how to maintain it, but I can tell you how you're going to lose it. And that's through conversations with people. So it's really skillful that you start a conversation with the thought of goodwill and intention. And then the other thing Ajahn Sona says that I really like is practice the emotion that you want to be in. Especially if you're going to be interacting with somebody, and if it's going to be in a situation like if you have to give someone feedback or admonishment or kind of give them some instructions that you maybe fear that they're not going to want to hear. If you don't have to, if you're in a situation where you don't have to tell people, don't. It's like people can learn on their own. But if you're in a situation where it's your responsibility and you have to give someone feedback, practice the emotion you want to say, not what you want to say, but what is the mood you want to be in when you say it. You want to be caring, you want to be gentle, you want to be receptive to their feedback, you want to be cautious of what their feedback is, or their facial expression. So you set the intention, that's how I want to be. I want to be aware of these things.
And then those feelings proliferate. Like once you, like a tree, the more it grows in one direction, the more it will grow in that direction.
So Jason's analogy of trees all growing in one direction, here's a perfect example. This is the tree we were just sitting under.
So like our emotions, if we develop emotions in a certain way, they will continue to develop in that certain way.
Right.
And that's both with metta and like anger and hostility.
Right. Yeah, because one thing is like with meditation, it's like you can get into a really bad habit of like closing your eyes and then just planning your rest of your day or fantasizing about the vacation you want to take, or just allowing yourself to just go into this kind of comatose state where you just don't exist.
Yeah.
But it's really bad to do that. Like you might be able to sit for 20 minutes, an hour, but it's what you're doing is you're actually cultivating that mind state. You're actually cultivating that as a habit, as a mood, as a like you say, it's almost like a rut in a road or a way a tree would grow in a particular direction. It's just you're setting yourself up to do that again in the future.
Yeah.
So it's best to catch that, and then as soon as you catch it and can change it, you're actually creating the conditions for the next time you start wandering off to be able to catch it, so you can move it back in the right direction.
I've heard like you notice when your mind leaves the object of meditation, which can be metta or the breath or the body, and whenever your mind leaves that object or the topic subject, then you just kind of stop. You let go of the direction you're growing. Could you talk about that?
Yeah. Yeah, so what I was telling Jason with this meditation, the loving kindness, is that it's really about an internal feeling, even though the meditation itself is all about using phrases and using very specific topics. So like what you do is, this is another thing I really like about Ajahn Sona's teaching, is that he says this inner quality of, say, kindness, of generosity, of actually being happy, the emotional state of being content and happy. It's something that you want to cultivate, and I've never heard any other teacher talk about this way, but he says, if there's ways that you can do it, like for myself it's through creativity or being in situations like this. It's like, if I know being here is going to make me happy, and it does. It actually, I'm seeing the cliffs just right over here, and they're actually right over there and right over there too. But just the sound of the trees, the sound of the wind, the smells that are here. There is some sort of primal, I think, thing about human beings, that this is our element, but we don't put ourselves in it, being modern people. And so when I do come here, I connect at a deeper level to myself, and I just feel more alive. I feel more real when I'm here. So Ajahn Sona is saying, like, if you know that being in that situation, or when I'm being creative, or when I'm being kind to somebody, if I notice the happiness that comes from that, well, do that. Yeah. Do that, and actually allow and not only just do it, but to pay attention to the results. So like when I'm here, I also try to really be aware of my entire body and how it vibrates at a different level. That sounds kind of new age-ish, but it's true. I feel more alive when I'm here. So if I pay attention to that feeling, when I do go back to the monastery, when I am inside my cubicle cabin that's all man-made and everything in there is not natural, I can remember this feeling that I'm feeling right now, and I can mentally cultivate that exact same feeling. So what you're doing is you're coming, you remember. That's what sati, mindfulness, is. Mindfulness, the word sati, actually one of the translations of it is memory. So it's being here, putting myself in a situation, bringing up that feeling, but then remembering it and paying attention to it now in this present moment allows me to remember it later. So like when I then go and sit and meditate, that is a lot of the meditation, is remembering, coming back.
I could just sit and wait for all your goodness, hope to feel your presence. I could just stay right where I am and hope to feel you, hope to feel something again. Ooh.